Hello guys, welcome back to the channel, or if you're new, welcome. My name's Audrey. It has been like 2 months since I have been antique shopping, which is crazy. Normally I stop by every week or every other week, but the holiday season has been busy and I have been doing so many things with friends, family, and around the house. So it's time to do something for me. So we are going vintage and antique shopping today to decompress some, get inspired, and just have a little bit of fun. So I will pick you guys up once I get there.
Okay, first stop today is Jasper Cane. I saw this French woven tray, which I feel like is really good for breakfast in bed or even corralling items when I host, like to put containers on top that have like silverware inside. And then I saw this brass file box, which I just thought was really unique and different. It opens up so you can fit like tall items in there. It could be cool, like on the floor under a desk or even on top of a desk with important files or things that you need to access regularly, especially if your desk is antique. They typically don't have a lot of storage. So, like on mine, for instance, I have some clay vessels sitting on the top that have my basic necessities in them, like pens, pencils, things like that. And then I saw these two matching cabinets with the glass front on them. I've been looking for something similar because I would love to put little curtain rods up at the top and then have ruched curtains to hide items inside. And I just love the way that curtains in a glass cabinet like that really soften up a space. These aren't quite the right size, but they are nice. This is not quite my style, but I do like the contrast of the black and white. And it's also sort of Art Deco style. I also kind of like these chairs, but they would need to be recovered in something else. I just think that dark wood like that can add a lot of nice dimension. I'm always looking for silver pieces to add to my collection, and I see that they have some pretty silver shells. These look like they're larger. There's a set of three. They're also a good price. And then a set of five smaller ones. Really cute. I think that these chairs have a really interesting shape. They're comfortable to sit on. Not something that I need for my space, but they're nice. And this upholstery is in great condition. And I also think that this settee is nice. I'm not a huge fan of the black upholstery. I think it would look better with maybe like a white linen. And it would take a very specific space to put this in, but it's pretty, like maybe at the end of a bed in a master. Tons of wicker items here today. This would probably be my choice, which is just a wicker trunk. I think that that's really nice to corral things like maybe throw blankets or dog toys in a kid's room, kid toys. And wicker's classic and just adds a good, neutral, warm, textural element to a space. I think that's it for today in here. So I'm going to head next door, just down the street to Oddballs Nifty Thrift. I am now in Oddballs Nifty Thrift. I see this pretty, it's more of a subtle gray, like French blue in person than it shows up on here. But I like the crackle finish and I like the shape on that. It's not quite right for my space, but I really do like the color. This is nice, a cut glass full with a silver rim. That would look great on like a stack of books for the holidays with some of those like Christmas chocolates or even like some peppermints. Okay, I'm not gonna pull it out, but hidden back here is a nice silver tray, if you can see the shape. It has a really nice edge to it and not any like etch detailing on the flat center part, which I love. And it's a really good size. It's quite large. That would be great for the holidays for decorating. I love to have silver out for the holidays. This is also nice. I like the straight edges. That's sort of like geometric shape along here at the top right there. To me, looking for stuff with sort of that straight edge geometric shape is a little bit more timeless. Just goes with a wider variety of different styles so that if you're changing your style over time as we all grow and evolve, your things still look good. These are really pretty brass heavy. I like the detail on the top. Wall sconces for candles. There's a set of two. This is nice. This brass container with the scallop edge and the little lines on the side. That would even be pretty for paperweights for the holidays. I don't collect blue and white, but here are two pretty blue and white pots. I like the detail at the top, that geometric detail, and those also would be great for paperweights. I find that when I pot paperweights for the season, I'm mostly using found containers like silver bowls or terracotta bowls. So it's a great thing to look for when you're out shopping. There's two pretty sets of silver trivets, these smaller ones with the glass behind them. So these are to set like hot plates on, which is really nice. And then there's a larger set of two, really pretty, especially for hosting for the holidays. I think these are also really pretty. I prefer something simpler, but it's a really elegant sort of off-white color. And I think Wedgwood in general is pretty timeless. Also, like this Wedgwood vase with the line detail is really pretty, again, in that same color. And I see there's still some Nantucket baskets, which are just so well made. And maybe like the larger size like this would be really cute on a table with peppermints or something for the holidays. I see this really pretty silver ice bucket. I see this ceramic. It's great to look for ceramic in thrift shops. You can find some really unique stuff. These are nice, especially if you're into more organic, sort of unfinished looking pottery. Those have a really soft color glaze on them. I think that they're really nice. And it's always good to find a set like that. There's four. I think this is a really charming Waterford pitcher. I like that it has the leaf detail on there. Can you see that? I collect stuff with that leaf detail and just with the simple cross on the bottom. And it sort of has like a unique spout shape. Actually, there's a lot of good crystal. These are pretty with that herringbone pattern with the matching, it looks like bud vase on there. I saw this really cute toothpick holder with the little lions on it in the silver. I think that that is so nice. There's another toothpick holder back here with a slightly different detail on it, still really nice. These are great to put like on the kitchen island or, you know, next to a charcuterie board, even in the powder bathroom next to the sink in case you have something in your teeth. It's just like one of those really practical things. And then over here, I see this, it says coaster ashtray, but I would use them as drink coasters. Really simple like that, I think is nice. These also I thought were nice. Blue and white serveware. This would be like cake serveware, but they're in great condition and I love that they match. Also, I saw this, which I really like. a woven bowl. I love anything like this. And it's in a bit of a deeper color, which is nice, a little bit darker. And I really like both of these. So this is a shell container. I've seen these a lot with Instagram sellers, but they're very nice. They're normally, I can't open it right now with one hand, but there's normally like black felt lining on the inside. And then I really love this too. This reminds me of like Kelly Wersler. I took her master class during COVID times. And one of the things that she talked about was she collects gemstones everywhere she goes, and she custom made her own gemstone boxes like this with gems she had collected from all over the world. And then she ended up recreating them for her collection to sell. And that looks just like it. Really pretty. Here are more gemstone boxes. Just so unique and different. I love stuff like that. These are great too. Silver boxes. I really like that they're wood lined and not felt, and that there's three that go together. Those would be great for like nightstand to put different things in, maybe mix it with a little bit of wicker so that you have some contrast. It would be great to gift something like this. Take it somewhere to get it custom engraved since there's nothing on it. Like I have one that has just a simple S for my last name on the top. That would be so nice. Or maybe like a smaller one like this as a wedding gift with just a simple one letter for the last name. A great gift idea. These are also so cute. A blue and white set of dog bowls. I've been getting so many targeted ads and seeing so many unique dog accessories online. And I'm so happy that people are doing that because most people have dogs and it's a pain to have ugly dog bowls, leashes, and even like toys out. Okay, I'm in Cooper City Antique Mall. I think that this picture has a really nice and simple silhouette. And I also like the little creamer. This has been here for a while. I also think that this is a really great ironstone tureen. I love anything ironstone. I think it goes so well with all different styles and it's very timeless and classic. And then I also really like that yellow wear bowl because it has a lighter color blue stripe. I see this scalloped floral plate. I really like the detail on this. I like the green tones and the pattern. This would be really pretty to add to like a plate wall in a kitchen, or like a breakfast nook would look really nice. Okay, see they have three of these bells. They also have three at the front door that they've had here for a long time, but I was always curious if they are ornaments or not. They don't look like ornaments, although I'm sure you could use them for that. They're called Campanta Navidad, so I think they're kind of like nativity scenes, maybe some of them, although these ones don't look like it, but I do think that with like a little bit of ribbon on the top, they would be nice for Christmas decor if you found one with like the right scenery on it. Okay, I really try to keep my serveware in like full sets, but if you collect one-offs, this would be so pretty. The gold with this, it looks sort of periwinkle on camera, but it's a really, really muted light blue color. And it is so pretty. I love that. I also see this little glass canister. I like the silhouette and it's so good for organization, especially if it's something that's going to be left out for like a bathroom, for example. You put cotton swabs or Q-tips in there and then leave it out on the counter and it looks really nice and it's also functional. I love a cut glass bowl with a silver lip on it like this. It's especially good for Christmas decor if you're into like that old world style. Lots of pretty little silver things. This is really nice. And I like the simplicity of this. These are really great for like charcuterie boards and things. And then I saw this too. I'm not wild about the handles on this. I've seen prettier ones, but for tea, loose leaf tea, you set this on top. You put the leaves in there and then you pour water over top. but I am always looking at the silver and ironstone. Okay, I see these pretty slatted serving pieces. I really like the slats on this. That it's not quite as like ornate as something like this. And I do like the end too. I wish it didn't have the floral detail, but that shape is correct for my collection. And I feel like this could be really nice to put like powdered sugar and then like tap it over over something to get it evenly distributed or even to like do a specific design. I'm thinking about getting this. I don't know, I just had that idea. It seems like sort of a random serving piece, but also this is nice. It just needs to be polished up, a good frame. Simple, $9. I feel like you really can't go wrong with something like that. And then, as always, I'm just gonna dig through the silverware a little bit because she's always getting new stuff. And I'm trying to collect a set. One of you guys told me that pewter is heavy. That is heavy. So this pewter dish is really pretty. I like the simple silhouette of it. And it's a smaller size, so it would be great as like a bread plate or even for a candle. I love that beaded drawstring bag. So chic. I see that this set is still here, and I am tempted to get the gravy boat because it's ironstone. I like the simple silhouette, and the only gravy boat I have right now, I've had for many years, and I'm just not in love with it. It's a cut crystal one, and it's just sort of too old and doesn't look good with my other stuff. I love Lily of the Valley, and I just saw this little plate. It would look so cute on like a nightstand or even on a sink in a bathroom as like a catch-all for rings or something. So cute. I even like that black one. I just wish it didn't have the gold rim on it. This is also really pretty. I'm always looking for like handmade pottery. It has a chip on it, but if you like that more organic look, it's a really pretty green as a little creamer pitcher. Also, so much Christmas. This is your PSA to get out and look at the vintage Christmas decor because really it's just so timeless and classic, and it's much better made than a lot of the stuff that you're going to buy from China. The compact mirrors, this just reminded me it's a good gift on Etsy to get a compact mirror engraved. I saw This Oak House shared that a couple months back, and I've had it on my gifting list just for a gifting idea in a pinch to order for someone. This is so cute. If it opened, it'd be a cute cookie jar too. I have never really needed a creamer dish or a creamer pitcher, I should say, but if I did, this would be the one. It's so pretty. And is that something I need? Is it one of those things that you buy when you see one you really love? Did I just talk myself into this? So pretty. Some really pretty and simple small dishes. So many uses for these. There's another one that I really like. I have some and I've been using them way more than I thought from Havilland, France, but that's a great thing to look for when you're shopping because you can use them for olive oil and balsamic, for bread to dip it in. You can use them for charcuterie boards to, put a soft cheese or something on here to add some dimension. You can use it as a ring dish. They're just really practical. Tabletop styling for a candle, so many things. I see this yellow bowl back there. I have been yellow obsessed. And it's blocked by this piece of furniture, but I do think I'm gonna have to squeeze back there and take a better look. This is pretty too. This gravy boat with a simple leaf detail on it. I'm not a huge fan of things with a gold rim, but I love the off-white color. I like the leaf detail and I like the overall shape. This booth has many nice vintage ornaments. I haven't found any vintage ornaments yet this season because I haven't been shopping. So I'm going to take a look. For someone who likes a subtle pop of color, I really actually love the color combo and pattern on here. I don't know what it is or if it's just my mindset right now for the season, but it reminds me of this Doan blue cashmere cardigan that just came out in their winter collection. It has like one of those classic winter sweater patterns on it. It's blue with burgundy red details, and I'm obsessed with it. And these plates remind me exactly of that sweater in plate form. I don't have a use for these at the moment, but I do have a couple of tassels that I keep in back stock. Here's a set, which is nice, but like a singular, really large, high quality tassel is really pretty, like on a piece of antique furniture when they have the little key to open and close it. And it also looks really nice on a simple, structured, like leather clutch handbag. I like it on a handbag when it matches the handbag. So, like black clutch, black tassel. Looks really nice. Okay, guys, we are back from vintage shopping, and I'd like to show you a couple of items that I picked up. First up, we have these beautiful silver spoons. They have this, it looks like me to Lily of the Valley, but I know that that's not what it is. These are 1920s silver spoons. It says 1835 R. Wallace. So I was happy to find these. I know that these are quite rare. I was gifted the forks and knives by the vendor the last time that I was in Cooper City Antique Mall. She mentioned that there were also spoons and we were looking for them but couldn't find them. Well, today when I went back, I took a look through her inventory and I found them. So this for me was a really great find, and fingers crossed that I find more of this pattern over time because it really is beautiful. And ideally, I like to have a minimum of 12 pieces when it comes to serveware, silverware, things like that. Fingers crossed, but regardless, this is something that I will use on a daily basis. I already have been using the other pieces that she gifted me, so I'm excited about this. Next up, we have this yellowware bowl. I love the sort of mustardy beige color of this. I guess it's more beige than it is mustardy, and this off-white rim. I'm going to use it likely as a mixing bowl and as a serving bowl, but if you wanted, like during the holiday season, you could even plant paper whites in it. I have done that with a lot of my mixing bowls, like my silver mixing bowls and even some of my glazed pottery bowls. This looks like Robinson Ransbottom, although it does not have that marking on the bottom, so it must just be the same style. If you know, I am curious, so please let me know in the comments. Is this Robinson Ransbottom or not? Let me see if I can get you a good. Let me know. I would be curious. I know that Robinson Ransbottom made yellowware that is like this, but yeah, without the markings on the bottom, I actually am not sure. And then this, which is also the same style. I absolutely fell in love with this. This is actually called Lilac, the color, although I would say that to me it looks more like blue. I see that there's these beautiful little crescent moon designs with the lines. There's something so whimsical about this bowl, and I really, really love the color. I like to keep the things in my kitchen, well, and sort of home in general, but in the kitchen especially, very monochromatic. So things are like beige, cream, off-white, bright white. That is the color palette. But I am a lover of butter yellow and blue. And so there ends up being a few through lines of that color throughout the house, especially when it is not the holiday season. And so this to me just felt perfect. It made my heart skip a beat and I couldn't leave without it. So I was really excited about this, and I think it will look good on the kitchen island throughout the seasons to add pops of color when I am craving it in the house. And I even thought about maybe putting this up in the nursery at some point because I could roll things like cotton swaddle blankets, like all white in here, almost like spa style or something like that. So I have a bunch of different ideas of how I might use this, but it was one of those pieces that I knew if I left it behind and someone else bought it, I would always regret it. Next up, we have this cute little cream pitcher. It is very small, so I think that it's something that I would put like a béarnaise sauce in for the holidays, or a little bit of cream to put in tea or coffee, maybe even maple syrup if we had like a holiday brunch. It is Godinger, but I want to say that when it's Godinger, that it's some of their older stuff. If my memory serves me correctly, I believe that's how it is. But I loved this pattern on here, and it has the leaves here, which I like to collect things that have a leaf pattern or anything sort of more geometric, like with little lines like this. Sticking with a subtle style like that, regardless of what color you buy something in, the material, the brand, it makes your collections look more like cohesive collections. So that is something that I am always paying attention to. And I am really excited about this. I had a little glass pitcher with a rattan handle that was very small. It was the only sort of like cream pitcher that I had. And I never used it for cream. Actually, what I used it for was to fill up water in all of my vases when I have flowers, because often, like every couple days, you just need a little bit more water so that you don't fill your vases up with a really high water line. It's better to keep it quite low, but refill it often. And even during the holidays, like paperwhite season, to go around and water your indoor houseplants that are in very small bowls, this ends up being great for. So I will use this, and it's quite beautiful. So I think it's actually something that I would leave out like this. And then it makes it easy to grab and use on a daily basis. Okay, guys, that is it for this video. If you made it this far, please like this video and subscribe. And I will see you the first week of January, January 8th, Thursday, for another video. I hope that you have an incredible holiday season, and I look forward to seeing you again. Bye.